Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Mabe podcast. Today's guest is Dr. Pam Schwallier. Hello, Pam.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for having me today. I love Mabe and excited to talk with you today.
Awesome. We're glad to have you, of course, as well. So I wanted to have Pam on today to talk about robust parent engagement because what she is doing in her current position, I see a lot of things on social media, and it's really just it's dynamic, for lack of a better word. Um, and it's really something that if other districts are wanting to improve their parent engagement, which most districts are, it's just it's a constant thing. I mean, even if you're doing a great job, you're always looking for ways to grow. Um, what I see online is just, it looks fantastic. So, Pam, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your role and how you work with the different schools in your district?
Sure. My formal title is the Director of EL and Bilingual Programs for West Ottawa. We're a district of about 7,000 students total, and over 1,000 of them are multilingual learners. And so my role here at West Ottawa is to support all of those multilingual learners and their families. And so I think kind of what you said is there's always room for growth. We are definitely not perfect over here. We are constantly looking to improve and do better. And it's not any one person. I'm just so proud of the team that we have across all of our schools that really help bring some of that to life.
Great. So the first thing I want to talk about are the PTOs, the parent teacher organizations. I've seen some in your district. So what does it take to form a strong PTO, and what are some kinds of activities that you've done in your district?
Sure, yeah. This year in particular, the PTOs have played a really important part for us as we launched a new elementary school called Los Lagos Bilingual Academy. So this fall was the first time ever for the doors to open here. We repurposed one elementary to be a two-way dual language program in a 90-10 model. And so we set some really tall goals, and there was a lot of work and planning, obviously, that went into making that a reality. And we had a strong parent group already, but obviously no formal PTO because it's a new school. And so the principal, Amado Perez Chavez, and I met with some of the parent leaders all last year preparing for this year's school. And we really challenged our PTO partners, our parent leaders, to partner with us to meet our three goals of dual language education. So this school is specific for students to learn Spanish and English, to become biliterate and bilingual, achieve high academics, and to raise their socio-cultural competence. And so we challenged our PTO to join us in this mission of meeting these three goals. And we talked about what does that look like for fundraising, for different events, for open house. Most recently, most of our elementary schools hosted what's called a fall fest. Some did a trunk or treat, a lot of Halloween themed pieces. And our multilingual teaching team in all of our elementaries typically support in various ways in these events. But the event that the PTO led here infused Dia de los Muertos, for example. And so at this event, you would see this fusion between the two cultures, and everything's bilingual. So just in all of the different events they do, we also used to have Popcorn Fridays that the PTO would put on, and now instead of Popcorn Fridays, they have partnered with local community restaurants, stores, to be able to provide a cultural snack for all of the students at Los Lagos Bilingual Academy. So that's been really fun too, just to be able to see. We had, what did we have? Elote one day, and the students are trying like this new version of corn that maybe some of them never had. And they're coming around with trays from the Culture Cheese Shop, which is a locally owned. It's actually a parent of one of our students owns this shop, and they're going to come around and let students try cheeses and meats from Spain. And so that's been really fun to see parents take the lead in how can we infuse culture and language into all the ways they join us at school too.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned in there the fusion of two cultures. So if you're doing, it's not just dual language, it's dual culture. And even with that, um, the native, let's call them the native Michiganders, they're probably pretty similar culturally because they're all from the same place. Whereas, your Spanish speaking students, I just noticed online too that there was something with pupusas. So that's from El Salvador because they're often from various areas within Latin America, and that is, Latin America is by no means monocultural either.
Right.
So,
We actually serve a lot of cultures. So we really try in this school to recognize all the Spanish speaking countries in the things
mhm,
that we do. So it's not necessarily just one culture that's being represented. And even if you walk into our gymnasium here, you're going to see flags from all of the countries of all students across West Ottawa, not just Spanish speaking countries, that we really believe that we want to honor all the cultures of our West Ottawa families and students, the identities that they bring. And
mhm,
something else in the gym that just really proud of, and it's another one of those parent community connections, is there's brand
mhm,
new murals in that gym and all throughout the school where you walk in and these murals are infused with culture. And so when you walk into the gym, you see the West Ottawa Panther, which is our mascot, except it's giant. It's like the whole size of the
mhm,
wall in
uh,
that gymnasium. But then it has alebrijes. It has this like Mexican themed design of really bright
mhm.
colors all inside that panther. So that's been really fun to be able to honor all of the cultures and not just focus on one, whether it's from Mexico or Spain or maybe some of
Right,
the
right.
traditional Spanish speaking cultures, but bring them all in.
Yes, absolutely. And then you have some district-wide events as well.
Yeah. So outside of the PTOs that the parents obviously partner with us a lot on some of those things, district-wide events, I try to coordinate two of them for the whole district. And then each one of our individual schools, we have 9 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, high school, and then a virtual academy and an alternative high school as well. They all host some of their own events, but some of the bigger events that we do as a district, one is for honoring, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So we've done that one this fall. It's outdoors. We bring in all the food trucks,
Mhm.
community partners from all different organizations. That's something I really love about our community is that we're resource rich, that our community really steps up to partner with our schools in a way that is unique to this area. And I would just encourage everyone who's part of MABE or listening to this of if you haven't tapped into your local organizations, small business owners, um, even like we've tapped into local artists, musicians who can help bring that community and school together. That's been really important for us. So we have Ballet Folklorico. It's a student group that came and performed at a soccer game for us. And then we've had La UP is a Latin Americans United for Progress. It's another nonprofit local organization that's really strong. They have a dancing club group that anyone can join. They're so
Mhm.
fun. That's called Salserines, and they have come to that event in the past too. So that's been really fun. And I think, especially this year, it was especially meaningful for our Hispanic community to see that West Ottawa is committed and engaged and really truly believe that we value and see the contributions of our Latino and Hispanic families this year. So we just felt a lot of love and appreciation and saw the community come together in a year that they needed a little extra love.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk a bit about too what you're doing for adults,
Hmm.
um, independently of, the school-wide activities. So you have adult ESL classes, and you also have something, it's called the West Ottawa Language Exchange. Could you talk about those two things?
Yeah, for many years we've had adult ESL, like English as a second language classes happening at Harbor Lights Middle School every Tuesday, Thursday evening. It's free, there's free childcare. So that's been happening for many years. But something we added more recently was the West Ottawa Language Exchange. And this was something that was born out of a teacher partnership. Actually, I have
Mm.
two of our teachers. One has been part of the dual language program, and another is at an English only elementary that we have, a more traditional elementary. But both teachers were in the Masters of TESOL program through Western Michigan University. So we have 90 of our teachers earning a free master's in TESOL through the Grow Your Own grant through the state of Michigan. And so two of these teachers, for one of their projects for this, had to design, like identify a problem and design a solution. And so they designed this West Ottawa language exchange, and that's where the idea stemmed from. And it's absolutely incredible. What they do is they It's also in the evening. They invite Spanish speaking families who want to learn English and English speaking families who want to learn Spanish. And they invite all of them together to be able to share language together. And so they partner up parents. So if I'm coming as an English speaking parent and I get matched with a Spanish speaking parent, they learn language together. And what I've loved most about seeing this is the relationships that form. It is so much more than just learning language together. The very first night is typically pretty quiet. Parents are nervous, kind of unsure of what they just signed up for. Again, there's free childcare. We always have some food, etc. But then a few minutes in, these teachers are so amazing. They have them laughing and joking. They even give them like this fun optional homework from what they call them, but it's actually like challenges of you're going to get 5 bonus points if you call your partner and have a conversation in both languages. You're going to get 2 bonus points if you send them a text message in both languages. Or you're going to get 20 extra points if you meet them somewhere at a park and go for a walk, go to a community event together, go out to dinner together. And what we've seen is parents forming new friendships and relationships with people they would have never had the opportunity to get to know if we didn't have something like this. They're helping their kids sign up for Panther Pathways, an after school program we offer for kids. They're helping each other with the online enrollment or checking grades, like all those day-to-day tasks. So again, it's not something I do. We found some grant funding and I support it and love these teachers, but the idea and the execution of that family engagement piece is really them. So I think it's really about building capacity to support and build some systems and structures where everyone can help build that capacity.
Yeah. Can you give some examples then of when they have the language exchange? Like if they come in, you mentioned the first night's kind of quiet, but once they get going, what does like a typical session look like?
Yeah, they um, have the night kind of separated into 2 parts. So, and
Mhm.
I think they rotate every other time you come. The first like 45 minutes is all maybe instruction in Spanish, and it has a theme to the night. They have a vocabulary introduction. They do a lot of those SIOP strategies that we might do as ESL teachers in classrooms with kids, but of course infused with strategies that are respectful for adults, but strategies to get them talking and communicating together. And it's all just in one target language to start. And then there's a little break, like mix and mingle. You can check on your children if you're worried about your children in the
Mhm.
childcare area, get a snack, more informal, and then they switch languages. And then the last 45 minutes is all in the other partner language that hasn't been used yet. And then they flip flop so that you don't always start with the other language. Just you see so much joy that comes out of that. They have kind of set themes. I pay our teachers to be able to plan this and then also teach it because it does take some time and effort to be able to be ready to do this each week. They create a lot of handouts and resources. Um, and then there's always a celebration at the end. They um, always have like a little library where people can check out books and things. There's a celebration with food, and they usually play some games. So they might be doing like taco cat, goat cheese pizza, or whatever that funny game is. So they're
Mhm.
laughing, having fun, using language in different ways.
Great. Yeah, and what I'm hearing a lot about here, I had a class when I did my admin certification on, parent engagement, and it's just getting, because obviously, well, the two fallbacks are always food and fashion. That's what they said.
Yeah.
But there's a way to do food and fashion that's very, let's just say shallow. Like you're not really getting into what it relates to. So it sounds like what you're doing a lot of is coming to a space where again, like this food is distinct to this country or this region, um, doing things that are meaningful and like as you described with the language exchange too, like that's I can imagine like the headspace for, our Spanish speakers or not English speakers, that's their life. To always be trying to navigate these situations in a language that is new to them. Um, but for, the native English speakers, sometimes that can really change their outlook and, just to have that experience, if only just for one moment.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Pam, for joining us today. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, thanks for having me here today. It's always great to talk with you. I would say, just in general, when we're talking about family engagement for our multilingual learners, some of these things maybe you saw on social media are more big and splashy, but I always say it's the day to day that matters most, right? And so we have bilingual family liaisons. We have our ML teachers, but it's really not just about them. It's about every single person that's working at West Ottawa Public Schools. That we really need all of our front office secretaries, our clerks, our principals, our enrollment staff to really love all of our families and understand the unique challenges and assets that our families bring. And so it's not just about have a big party or have this really cool class, but making sure every single day when people come in our schools and walk in our spaces that they feel valued and welcomed and know that we're here for them through the thick and the thin and everything in between. So yeah, thanks so much for having me, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, and again, just you mentioned asset base. I mean, that's what's just so important about all this too is recognizing what our students and our parents bring with them, and not just expecting them to always just acclimate, but giving them that recognizing their assets as well. Yes. All right. Well, thanks so much, Pam, for joining us. And yes, we will certainly see you soon. You're usually around at Mabe, often presenting, so hopefully we can get you in for something else this year.
I hope to see you soon.